The starship Elysium drifted silently through the inky void of space, its hull glinting faintly under the light of a distant sun. Aboard the vessel, Captain Marcus Hale sat in the dimly lit command center, his fingers drumming nervously on the console. The mission had been straightforward. Establish first contact with the Zyn'thari, a highly advanced alien species rumored to possess technology that could save Earth from its dying state. But nothing had gone as planned. The Zyn'thari were not just advanced, they were enigmatic, their motives inscrutable. Their queen, a towering ethereal being with shimmering silver skin and eyes like molten gold, had taken a peculiar interest in Marcus. During the initial negotiations, she had studied him with an intensity that made his skin crawl. And now, after weeks of cryptic exchanges, she had summoned him to her chamber. Marcus stood before the ornate doors, his heart pounding. The guards, towering insectoid creatures with iridescent carapaces, stepped aside as the doors hissed open. Inside, the chamber was bathed in a soft, bioluminescent glow. The queen stood at the center, her regal form radiating an otherworldly aura. "Captain Hale," she said, her voice a melodic hum that resonated deep within his chest. "You have been intriguing." Marcus swallowed hard. "Your Majesty, I'm honored. But I must ask, why have you called me here?" The queen tilted her head, her golden eyes piercing into his soul. "You humans are fragile, yet resilient. Your species clings to life with a tenacity that fascinates me. But you, Marcus Hale, are different. There is something within you, a spark." Marcus frowned. "A spark?" She stepped closer, her movements fluid and hypnotic. "A spark of potential. A genetic uniqueness that my people have long sought. It is rare, even among your kind." Marcus's mind raced. Genetic uniqueness. What was she talking about? Before he could ask, the queen extended a slender hand, her fingers brushing against his cheek. Her touch was warm, almost electric, and he felt a strange sensation ripple through his body. "You are the key," she whispered. "The key to a new era for both our species." Suddenly the room seemed to spin. Marcus's vision blurred, and he felt a wave of dizziness wash over him. The last thing he remembered was the queen's voice, soft and reassuring as darkness claimed him. When Marcus awoke, he was back in his quarters aboard the Elysium. The events in the queen's chamber felt like a dream, but the lingering sensation on his skin told him otherwise. He sat up, his head throbbing, and noticed a small, crystalline device on the table beside him. It pulsed faintly, casting a soft blue light. Before he could examine it further, the ship's AI, a calm androgynous voice named Aura, interrupted his thoughts. "Captain, you have an incoming transmission from the Zyn'thari Queen." Marcus's stomach churned. "Put it through." The queen's holographic image materialized before him, her expression unreadable. "Captain Hale, I trust you are well. What did you do to me?" Marcus demanded, his voice trembling with a mix of anger and fear. The queen's lips curved into a faint smile. "I have given you a great honor, Marcus. You are now part of something far greater than yourself." "What are you talking about?" he snapped. Her golden eyes gleamed with an intensity that made his blood run cold. "You are going to be a father." Marcus stared at her, his mind struggling to process the words. "A father? That's impossible." "I haven't." "Not in the way you understand," she interrupted. "My species reproduces through genetic assimilation. We take the unique traits of another being and merge them with our own. Your DNA, Marcus, is unlike any we have encountered. It holds the key to strengthening our kind." Marcus felt a wave of nausea. You used me." Without my consent. The Queen's expression softened, though her tone remained firm. Consent is a human concept, Marcus. To us, the survival of our species transcends such trivialities. But know this: your offspring will be a bridge between our worlds. A symbol of unity. Marcus clenched his fists, his anger boiling over. You had no right. The Queen's hologram flickered, her gaze unwavering. The process is already complete. In time you will come to understand the significance of what has been done. Until then, I suggest you prepare yourself. Parenthood, even in this form, is a profound responsibility. Before Marcus could respond, the transmission ended, leaving him alone in the silence of his quarters. He sank onto the bed, his mind reeling. Father. To an alien hybrid. The thought was both terrifying and surreal. Weeks passed, and Marcus struggled to come to terms with his new reality. The Zyn'thari Queen had provided him with a data crystal containing information about the gestation process and the expected development of the hybrid child. According to the crystal, the child would grow rapidly, reaching maturity within a matter of months. Marcus couldn't decide what disturbed him more: the accelerated timeline or the fact that he was essentially a surrogate for an alien queen. The crew of the Elysium noticed the change in their captain. He became withdrawn, spending hours in his quarters studying the data crystal. When they asked questions, he deflected, unwilling to share the truth. How could he explain something he barely understood himself? One day, as Marcus reviewed the crystal's contents, Aura interrupted him. Captain, I have detected unusual activity in your biometrics. Your stress levels are dangerously high. May I suggest? I'm fine, Marcus snapped, cutting off the AI. But he wasn't fine. The weight of his situation was crushing him. He felt like a pawn in a game he hadn't agreed to play. As the days turned into weeks, Marcus began to experience strange sensations, vivid dreams of a child with golden eyes, a sense of connection that defied explanation. The Queen's words echoed in his mind. A bridge between our worlds. Was that truly his destiny? To be the father of a being that could unite two species? The day finally arrived. Marcus was summoned to the Zyn'thari homeworld, a planet of shimmering crystal spires and bioluminescent forests. The Queen awaited him in a grand chamber, her presence as commanding as ever. Beside her stood a small, childlike figure, a hybrid with Marcus's human features and the Queen's golden eyes. Marcus, the Queen said, her voice filled with an uncharacteristic warmth. Meet your daughter. Marcus's breath caught in his throat. The child looked up at him with a mixture of curiosity and recognition. She was beautiful, her silver skin glinting in the soft light. Her eyes filled with a wisdom beyond her years. Father, she said, her voice a melodic blend of human and Zyn'thari tones. Marcus knelt before her, his heart swelling with emotions he couldn't fully comprehend. Hello, he whispered, his voice trembling. The Queen placed a hand on his shoulder. She is the future, Marcus. A future you helped create. Tears welled in Marcus's eyes as he reached out to touch his daughter's hand. In that moment, the anger and fear melted away, replaced by a profound sense of purpose. He didn't understand everything, but he knew one thing for certain. He would do whatever it took to protect her.